Vanakkam friends. Today we are going to talk about Indian financial system, which is the first module of JAIIB. Every one of us wants our country to be the richest nation and the developed nation in the world. But could that be done without our efforts? People say that for a country to achieve such kind of level, the production of the country should be immensely improved. For the when the production of a country is improved to that extent, each and every citizen in our country will get a job according to their skill set, which will improve their income. In turn, the country's income will be improved. So when we know production is the key factor here, why can't we just start producing goods and services? Everyone is willing to become an entrepreneur. They want to start new businesses, but what they need is money. When we talk about money, what comes to our mind is RBI. They are the ones who are printing currencies for us. So, could we ask them to print more money for us? It's not possible. If they do that, then the value of our currency will get drastically reduced. So, how could our need for money be satisfied? RBI has already circulated enough amount of money in our economy. We have to utilize only that currency for improving our production. So the first question is, who is having the money which is being circulated in our economy? And the second one is, to which sectors these currency should be transferred so that the production could be improved. To know about these two questions, we should know about the four sectors of macroeconomics. The first one is household sector. In every country, the products which are produced are being consumed, and the one who consumes these products and the sector which consumes these products are known as household sector. Take for example, could you even think about a single person who doesn't consume anything which is being produced in a country? It is not at all possible. Each and every one, which means the 130 crore people in our nation is consuming the products or consuming the products which are being produced in our country. In that way, the total population in any country will come under household sector. When we say there is a consuming sector, then there will be definitely a producing sector which will try to satisfy the needs and wants of these consuming sector profitably. And that sector is known as the corporate sector or the business sector. Now we have the third sector, which is the government sector. What they does is resource allocation. For example, people needs people need food. Food is an essential commodity. But if there is no if food is not adequate for the people, then the government will try to allocate its resources to agricultural industry by way of giving subsidies, incentives, free currents to the farmers, so that the farmers will get motivated to produce more, which in turn will reduce reduce the scarcity for food. Apart from this, government is also providing us security. They are regulating the laws, and they are also providing us roads, dams, education, hospital facilities, etc. Now we have seen household sector, business sector, government sector of our country. All these three sectors of another country will be called as the foreign sector of our country. While talking about household sector, I told that all the population of a country will be included in the household sector. Then who will be present in the corporate sector and government sector? Let's take Ratan Tata. First of all, he is a consumer, so he primarily belongs to the household sector. The moment he becomes an entrepreneur, he will also become a member of corporate sector. So he will be a member of both the sectors. Now let's look what are the things which are being exchanged among these four sectors. The household sector, take for example, in household sector, there is a person known as Ramu who would like to start a grocery store. So the household sector is giving an entrepreneur named Ramu to the corporate sector. When Ramu comes to start the shop, he needs a land for his shop, which is being again supplied by the household sector through another member. Ramu will again need laborers for his shop, which will also again be supplied by the household sector. So the household sector is supplying an entrepreneur named Ramu a land and laborers. For all these things, the corporate sector in turn will provide profit, which the Ramu earns through his grocery shop to the household sector. And for the piece of land, rent will be provided, and for the laborers, wages will be given. Again, since the corporate sector will be producing goods and services, these goods and services will be eventually be purchased by the household sector. Not only by the household sector, government sector will also purchase goods and services from the corporate sectors. So now let's go to the government sector. As we all know, the government sector collects money both from the household sector also from the corporate sector. With these money in hand, they will purchase goods. For example, they will purchase wheat and paddy from the corporate sector at a minimum price, and then they will transfer these food to the poor people at a minimal price in the household sector. Also, they will be providing old age pension schemes to the household sector. Now, let's come to the foreign sector. For foreign sector, the labor will be provided through the household sector, for which the foreign sector will be providing foreign remittances. And the corporate sector will be importing from the foreign sector, as well as they will export to the foreign sector. For each and every import, they will have to make a payment, and for every export, the corporate sector will be receiving a payment from the foreign sector. Now, while starting this section, we have two questions. One is where is the money which is being circulated by RBI, and the another one is from where the money should be transferred to whom the money should be transferred so that the protection will be increased. Now let's take household sector. Since the total population comes under the household sector, they will be the owners of the corporate sector and the government sector. With the profit they are earning, with the amount they are earning through their profits, wages, and rent, first they will go for consumption, which is they will be purchasing rice, vegetables, fruits, and so on for their consumption. After finishing their consumption, they will try to save the balance amount for their future consumption, and this is the amount we have to concentrate on. This is the amount which should be transferred to the corporate sector and the government sector. Since the household sector is the owner of business sector and the government sector, the money in circulation will also be in the hands of household sectors. So how are we going to transfer the money which is being saved by the household sector to the corporate sector and the government sector will be the question for improving our production. If we ask the household sector for money, they will ask us two questions. The one is, number one, they will ask whether we will repay the money we get from the household sector risk. And the second one is, if we are repaying the money to the household sector back, what we will be giving them back as return for the money we collected. So we have to answer these two questions. So we are going to form a system which could answer these two questions of the household sectors properly, and then we will transfer the money to corporate sector and government sector. And the system which we are going to create is known as the Indian financial system. which we will see in the next video. Thank you.